Hey there, it's Scott Wynn with Database Gold once again, and as you may have noticed, it's Casual Friday. By the way, thanks for letting us do Casual Friday, Scott. Sure, no problem. Oh, sorry about that. Anyway, I just wanted to give you some tips today. 3 rules, in fact, that would skyrocket your referrals from your past clients. And so I want to share these rules with you because you may actually already know 1 or 2 of these rules. However, the thing that I think we get caught in more often than not is the understanding or the belief that we understand the things that we hear. And we may truly understand what it is that you hear or read. However, the rule or the filter, I guess I would suggest, that we run what you hear or what you see or what you read is, are you applying it? Because even if you know something, if you're not applying it, you're not going to get the results that you want from it. And so as I share these rules with you, these 3 rules that can truly skyrocket the referrals that you get from your past clients, the question I would ask is, not only do you understand what it is that I'm sharing with you or that you've heard this before, but are you truly applying it to your business? Because if you aren't, there is a huge opportunity here. So let's get to the rules then, right? So rule number 1. The first rule is the Pareto principle. And maybe you've heard it as the 80-20 rule. Now, don't let that lose you here, right? Again, I'm sure you've heard of the 80-20 rule, but are you applying it effectively within your business? And let me share with you what I mean by this, right? I mean, we all understand the 80-20 rule. 80% of the results you get come from 20% of the effort you put in, or the activities that you do, or the tasks that you are completing, right? So it's been proven time and time again, whether we're talking about wealth, whether we're talking about activities, whether we're talking about productivity, the 80-20 rule is critical to getting the results that you want and doing it with a optimization in mind. And so the first rule that we want to apply towards generating referrals is that 80-20 rule. And so if we think about this in regard to referrals, what I'm saying is, and this has been tested time and time again, is that 80% of the closed referrals that you're generating in your business come from just 20% of the past clients that you're staying in touch with. So let me repeat that. 80% of the referrals you're getting are coming from just 20% of your past clients. So again, there's huge opportunity in understanding that and applying that rule. So let's go to the second rule then. So the second rule is the 60-4-4 rule. Now, what the 60-4-4 rule is basically the 80-20 rule applied to the 80-20 rule. So if you take 80% of 80%, well, that's 64%. And if you take 20% of 20%, that's 4%. That's how we end up with the 60-4-4 rule. And so again, applying this to your past client database and the referrals that you're generating, what this is stating is that 64% of your closed referrals that you're generating are coming from just 4% of your past clients. Now that is what I'm talking about. When we are looking at how do we optimize and increase the opportunity we have in generating repeat referral business from our past clients, it's by applying and understanding these rules. So first of all, the 80-20 rule, and then secondly, the 60-4-4 rule. And maybe you can see where I'm going with this for rule number 3, which is the 51-1 rule, which is applying the 80-20 rule to the 64-4. So if we take 80% of 64%, we end up with 51%. And if we take 20% of 4%, we end up with like 0.8%, which I'll round up to 1%, which is where we end up getting the 51-1 rule. So again, applying this to the database, 51% of the closed referrals you're generating are coming from just 1% of your database. So let's put this all together. What we're suggesting is that you should focus the bulk of your attention on your top 20% of your past clients, those that are sending you referrals that are actually closing, and even more focused attention on your top 4%, and obviously just a step up, for your top 1%. And so when we look at putting a database marketing program in place, what you want to do is obviously you want to stay in touch with everyone in your past client database, because there's always going to be an opportunity that they'll have a referral for you, or down the road they may want to do business with you again. And so obviously staying top of mind is going to be important ongoing with everyone in your database. However, you want to spend an additional focused attention on your top 20%, maybe making some additional phone calls or seeing them more regularly. Another way you can do that is by gifting on them with some small, nominal, inexpensive type gifts, but they grab attention and create some desire of reciprocity to send referrals your way. And then going even further with the 4%, what could you do to love on those top 4% or the top 1% even more? Could be inviting them to exclusive events. Could be acknowledging their birthday in a special way. It could be grabbing lunch with them or going to a sporting event, right? And so the 3 rules are the 80-20 rule, the 64-4 rule, and the 51-1 rule. And if you apply that to your database marketing efforts and understand the impact it could make on the referrals you could generate, I am sure that your referrals will skyrocket with that in place. Now, if you are absolutely serious about generating business from your past clients, I would encourage you to check out our product called Database Gold. We share all of these techniques and strategies within our resource guide, but we go a step further and provide all the content that you need in order to do it, so that you're not having to spend your time applying the 80-20 rule, right? 80% of the results come from just 20% of the efforts, and generating content is not where you're going to get your results. So let us do it for you, and it's already in place, and you can get going right away. So check out Database Gold, and if this was helpful, if you could do me a favor, just like it, make a comment about any questions you have or something that you got out of the video, and obviously if you can share it, that'd be even better. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.